Breaking news. Gabby Thomas says she can break Flojo's world record. So, can she? Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Now, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button so we can continue to grow. Look, we have a goal of getting to 10,000 subs. We're almost there, and that's because of people like yourself. So go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Also, if you enjoy our content, please hit that like button. The algorithms absolutely love the engagement, and people, it's absolutely free to hit that like button. So if you enjoy the content, hit the like button. And finally, please leave a comment. I absolutely love reading your comments. I often learn a lot. Sometimes I have to admit I don't agree with you. Sometimes we have to agree to disagree. Sometimes they make me even laugh. But I enjoy the comments. So please leave a comment. Now, are you ready to talk about this? Are you ready to talk about the amazing Gabby Thomas, the Jamaican? Are you ready? Yep. Good to go. Earlier this year, at the USA's Olympic trials for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, Gabby Thomas, the Harvard graduate, caught the attention of the entire world with 3 exceptional PBs in the 200 meters. Throughout the rounds from Heat 1, from the heats into the semifinals, into the finals, Gabby Thomas in each race improved her personal best in the 200 meter. And in doing so, became one of the fastest women, not just in the world, but in history. Running from lane 7 in the heats of the women's 200 meters at the US trials, Thomas wins in almost at a canter. She's just jogging and runs 21.98, which was a personal best. 21.98. This is in the heats. Very, very impressive time. This is at the US trials. Heats, first race, 21.98. Extremely impressive run. Cannot take anything away from that. Thomas, who was born in Atlanta, Georgia on December the 7th, 1996, to an American mother, Jennifer Randall, and Jamaican father, Desmond Thomas, has a twin brother by the name of Andrew. In fact, one of her passions outside of sprint is the sciences, and her brother Andrew, who I believe is autistic, is one of the reasons why she's fascinated with the science of neurobiology. Thomas is clearly an exception to the rule. As I said, that heat run of 21.98 certainly caught the eye of everyone there, all onlookers, and anyone who was watching and knew even the most rudimentary facts regarding the 200 meters and men's and women's sprinting. A 24-year-old basically coming out of almost nowhere to the rest of the world. I mean, she was well known in the collegiate scene, and running an astounding 21.98 in the heats is going to definitely grab attention. I mean, real attention. In a recent article to be found in worldathletics.org, she speaks about her passion of science. It's entitled Thomas Exploring the Science of Speed. But I think what's most interesting to most of us in track and field is what she answers when she's asked if she believes Flojo's 200 meters world record is under threat. She says, if you had asked me over a year ago, I probably would have said no, but I think things have changed. I ended on such a great note last season, and I only see myself getting better. And I see the way Elaine's running, and Shelly and Fraser Price. So I foresee us pushing each other and challenging each other to amazing things. And clearly what she's saying here is something that I talk about on this channel constantly. Great athletes push each other. Great rivals push each other. In the semifinals, running out of lane 6, Another dominant performance, as you can see. Remarkable, absolutely remarkable run. And this time, she runs another PB of 21.94. 21.94. Another extremely fast time. In fact, that was one of the fastest times this year in the women's 200 meters globally. So, in the heats, she runs 21.98, almost at a canter. She runs hard in the semifinals. She made some serious effort, and she drops her PB again, running 21.94. So let's jump ahead. All right, we're going to jump ahead. We're going to pass the finals, and we are going to assume that she makes it to the Olympics, which we all probably know that she did, and she makes it through the rounds at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, as most of us had expected, we had anticipated. What was curious to me is that she hadn't run prior to that Olympics after the US trials. And here in the finals of the women's 200 meters at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, she impresses. She runs third in a time of 21.87 behind Christine Mboma, who you should not take lightly regarding the 200 meters. Christine wins silver, running 21.81, and of course, Elaine Thompson runs that phenomenal 21.53, which is now the second fastest 200 meter by a woman of all time, second only to Flojo. That's important. So keep just note there. Remember, we jumped. She talks in the article about her Harvard coach Kiba Talbert. Thomas explored the relationship between science and athletics. With track and field, everyone knows so much of it is mental, but a lot of it has to do with your brain chemistry too, she said. My coach focused a lot on meditation, which is interesting. It does change your brain chemistry over long term. So we would do that before hard workouts and before every competition. If you can calm your nervous system down, it affects how well you can train. I found that really, really fascinating, people. I don't want to go off on a rant or a tangent, but because I keep talking about the importance of the mental aspect of becoming a champion. So, who does she have to beat to break this world record? Who are the other obvious competitors, the other obvious people who stand in her way of breaking this world record? Obviously, number one, Elaine Thompson, here out of Jamaica, right or so. Then there's Christine Mboma, who I know some of you have all kinds of, your own personal views on that. But the fact of the matter is, she's here to say, and she's a serious threat. She's fast as heck, people. 21.81, serious. Then, of course, there's Shericka Jackson, who I think will only get faster in 2022 and is a legitimate threat. I think Shericka is 26 or 27. So she's still very young and she's fast like lightning. And then there's another person that I think we have to take into consideration, which is Dina Asher-Smith, who in 2021 was injured, so she was not running anywhere near her best. And you need to remember, she is the defending 200-meter champion in the World Championships, which she'll be defending in 2022, so you cannot take her lightly. So Gabby Thomas, these are the other persons around Gabby Thomas who I think are a legitimate threat. Well, certainly at least two of these persons, and I guess you could throw in Shelly and Fraser-Price somewhere there, but those are the legitimate threats. The question becomes now, is it in any way at all feasible that she could be a real threat to that world record? And I think the answer is a resounding yes. Yeah, she could. She's 24 years of age and she has ran, we're going to get into that, the third fastest 200-meter time. Not in the world today, but in history. I mean, in history, she's 24 years old. I really need you to take note of that fact. Clearly, she has a very different approach to how she trains. So, at 24 years of age, she is the third fastest woman in history. This means that at 24, she's only supposed to grow. I mean, barring injury, or any other issues, if she remains healthy mentally, physically, she's only going to get faster. She's only going to get stronger. Um, she's a legitimate threat. She's someone that we have to take seriously in terms of being able to, light that fire. Now I know, obviously, the primary threat to that 200-meter world record by Flojo has to be Elaine Thompson here. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a yardie. I mean, people, Gabby a yardie to her father is Jamaican. Desmond is a yardie. But I'm saying that obviously Elaine Thompson cannot be taken lightly. She's a legitimate. But barring a Elaine Thompson, if we look at the numbers and the logic, it's her. So here she is in the finals now of the trials for the USA 200 meters, and dominant. I mean, absolutely dominant. She runs away from Felix. She runs away from Dini, and she runs that mind-bending, almost seemingly insane time. She runs 21.61. She drops her PB in the semifinals from 21.94 to 21.61 in the finals. Then the second fastest time in history, of course, until Elaine Thompson at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics in the finals runs that phenomenal 21.53. But Gabby Thomas still is the third fastest woman in history with that 21.61, and she's just 24. She's a babe. All she can do if she remains healthy is grow mentally, physically, faster, stamina, strength. Look, people, she's a legitimate threat. She's a legitimate threat. There is no way else to say. There's no other way to put it. She's the third fastest woman in history, and she's at 24 years of age. Of course, she can break the record given time. I mean, I don't think she can do it next year, but she can. It's not a pipe dream. It's not an impossibility, if you get what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not emotional here. I'm just being logical. I'm saying, look at the stats. The stats is at 24, this young lady is the third fastest 200-meter female runner in history. Now, I know Flojo's world record is a mind-bending time of 21.34. And I will concede again that 21.53 is a whole lot closer to 21.34 than 21.61 is. But outside of Elaine Thompson, this young lady is the to me, based on the stats, based on the numbers, she is the next closest threat to that 21.34. And remember, she's only 24 years of age, and she looks to be in great shape. I think it's possible. I think the obvious contender has to be Elaine Thompson here. But I think when Gabby Thomas says she believes that, when they all push each other, it's possible for her to do it, I agree with her. I think the logic says she can. And then here's another factor. She ran that phenomenal 21.61 at the Hayward Field Stadium in Oregon. And that's exactly where they're going to be having the World Championships in 2022. And remember, Elaine Thompson ran that phenomenal 21.54 at that track also. That track is known to be a very fast track. Noah Lyles just ran, I think, 19.51 on that track. That's a fast track, people. That's a seriously fast track. So if there's an opportunity for Elaine Thompson or a Gabby Thomas to break that 200-meter world record, that's it. 2022 on that field, if they both get there healthy, which I pray that they will be able to push each other and throw in all the other persons, the Fraser Price, the Christine Mboma, the Sharika Jackson. I think that 2022 World Championship is going to be one for the ages, people. It's going to be serious, and I honestly think the field that she ran the third fastest time on, the same track, she knows that track, she runs on it consistently, she's run the third fastest 200 meter in history, which is a blistering 21.61, and she's only 24 years of age. She's a baby. I mean, I don't mean that literally, but 24 years of age means she has a lot of time to grow, to get faster, to get stronger, to build more strength, more stamina. She's a legitimate threat, people. I think that 200 meters is in some serious problems. I really think, honestly, I think Elaine, the most obvious person to break it, and more than likely probably will break it. But then there's also Gabby Thomas, and then there's Christine Mboma, which I'm going to talk about. I mean, don't take her lightly, and do not take Sharika Jackson lightly either. Remember, I said she kind of new to the 200 meter too, and she's still also pretty young. That World Championship is going to be blistering hot. That's going to be blazing, people. So, to answer the question, she believes that, when they all push each other, it's possible for her to break that record for one of them, and she believes that she can be that one that breaks the record, based on the article in worldathletics.org. And I think she has a legitimate reason to believe this. I mean, a genuine reason to believe this. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, people. It means a lot to us. And I know you don't have to do it, so please hit the subscribe button. When you hit the subscribe button, remember to hit that notification bell so you can get the next video as soon as it drops. And we do this roughly every day. Also, hit the like button. Remember, I told you the algorithms love the engagement. Plus, it's important it gets the vlogs out. If you really like the content, share it on your social media, etc. And leave a comment. I'm really certain you're going to leave a comment. I'm particularly looking forward to the yardies. Leave a comment. Love the Olano. You are kings and queens. Never forget it. Avoid negative people. Believe in yourselves. And as always, bless up. Yeah.